So now you decide to go down to Laurinburg Prep. Laurinburg Prep has a storied history. Before getting into the plan, Laurinburg got a population of 15,000 people today. So I don't even know what it was like in the early 90s, mid 90s. What was it like for a big city kid going down to Laurinburg? Like I said, 15,000 people today. So
I'll just let you finish. I'm already laughing because I knew what it was. Stay on the campus. Stay on the campus, period. Actually, I got even a deep story, right? It was even deeper, right? I'm sitting in class one day. We had our grades. We ain't need nothing in it. I'm sitting in class one day, and all of a sudden, we in math class. We took three math classes or whatever, just so we could have something to challenge us or whatever. And even in those classes, we still was getting hundreds and stuff like that. So me and my man Nard, we out in Laurinburg together. And then the headmaster came to my classroom one day, and he like tell the teacher, yo, I need to speak to Jamar. So I'm like, speak to me? Like, what do you speak to me for? So I went out, cops and all that stuff out there. They talk about after I finish the school day, they gonna have to, see I start sweating. They bring me right back to that moment. After the school day, we gonna come back and we gotta take you to jail because you violated your probation or violated some shit. They said I did something, and I'm sitting there like, what? I just got here like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, what are you talking about? And they ain't even want to talk. They like, sir, like, we're not here to cause a disruption in the school. They pretty much telling me like, listen, whatever you say ain't valid. We said we coming to pick you up at 3 o'clock when the school bell ring. So you could get ahead and go back to class or whatever, but we coming to pick you back up. So I'm sitting there with Mr. McDuffie, who was the headmaster, and I'm like, what are these dudes talking about? And he like, don't worry about it, we'll figure it out. And I'm like, don't worry about it, we'll figure it out. So I went back to class, and I'm speaking to my man Nard, and I'm like, yo, these dudes said that they coming to pick me up to take me to jail after school. And he like, for what? He like, fuck you done did. He just got here. I'm looking at this thing like, man, fuck you, man. Like, but you know, so what happened was that they mistake me for somebody else. It was a Jamar, somebody else who had did something the year before. So when they came back at 3 o'clock, meaning business or whatever, that was the one thing that they was able to straighten out, and that was the one saving grace. And then the headmaster vouched for me and said, no, this boy wasn't even here last year. But the headmaster never even asked the story, so you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, but Laurinburg was pretty nuts experience.
What would you say was some of the biggest adjustments? Was there racism, bunch of Confederate flags everywhere?
No racism, none of that kind of stuff. Everybody's black. The one thing that you had to make an adjustment to was that the majority of the kids that was there, they was there as an alternative to going to jail. I don't understand how that come. Yeah. That story was never put out there. It's like this big basketball school and all that. Like 70% of the people, who shared a suite with us, and we used to always take care of them. Like, yo, because we had to get dressed for Laurinburg. We had to get dressed on Thursdays or Fridays, one of those days. We had to put on our gray slacks, our white shirt, and our tie with our shoes. And that, I don't know why. I don't even know what kind of structure that was about or what they was trying to get across with that, but we had to do that on Thursdays or whatever. Joe Buttons, he shared the suite with us, and we used to have to tell him, yo, Buttons, yo, we used to call him Buttons, yo, get off your shoes, because he used to like have the feet together, be on the side of his shoes, sloppy, shirt out his pants, so we'd be like, yo, Buttons, you got to get yourself together. He was a little younger than us and all that. He'd be like, yo, I don't care. But he was mouse at that time, I don't care. And then here you go, he grow up and he become fucking Joe Buttons the rapper.
Right. Yeah. Wow.